Shri Ram!
Destruction of these churches is not an activity sanctioned by the Indian government. Instead, Global Hindu Heritage Foundation efforts will fund and grow a militant group committed to violating principles of basic human rights and freedom of religion enshrined in the Indian Constitution.
The agenda of the Frisco-based Global Hindu Heritage Foundation will almost certainly contribute to persecution of Christians in India.
I have been a proud Frisco resident for the last 20 years. For me to find out there is an organization raising funds to demolish churches in India is unfathomable to understand.
Martin Luther King had stated that we will not remember the words of our enemies, but rather the silence of our friends.
The Indian community was shocked recently when members of the Global Hindu Heritage Foundation sent out an email for a fundraising event in Frisco on November 27. One of the shocking items on the agenda was to demolish 75 churches in Tirupati, a temple town in Andhra Pradesh, India. The email also claims to have 25 full-time members spread over in 5 states in India to welcome back the converted Christians back into Hinduism.
The United States was built on the foundation of religious freedom, and we are here being able to peaceable practice of our faith. However, the Global Hindu Heritage Foundation is abusing this privilege by committing human rights violations and perpetuating religious persecution in India. Specifically, Global Hindu Heritage Foundation is using its platform as a US 501c3 to raise financial support for the destruction of churches in India. These are not mere accusations. Rather, Global Hindu Heritage Foundation has openly admitted its intent on widely circulated flier. The leader has lengthy Facebook posts even 12 hours ago, sharing about the advancement of their destructive work and solicit funds to support the effort.
On Christmas Day in 1998, in the Indian state of Gujarat, affiliates of the fascist RSS, a Hindu nationalist paramilitary, took to the streets, chanting slogans about driving out Christians. Over 10 days, they attacked dozens of churches, burning most of them to the ground. Less than a month later, in the Indian state of Odisha, the Australian missionary Graham Staines and his 2 young sons, ages 10 and 6, were burned alive by an RSS mob. Over the years, violence against Christians in Odisha continued, with the RSS storming churches, killing priests, raping nuns, and so on. The RSS gained national power in India when RSS member Narendra Modi took over as Prime Minister. Modi's bloody past as the Chief Minister of the state of Gujarat, where the RSS massacred thousands of Muslims in 2002, did nothing but help position him in the eyes of the Hindu nationalist movement as the right man to lead the country. And ever since, India has become hell on earth for Indian Muslims and Christians. For Christians, India is now ranked the 10th most dangerous country in the world. And yet, just last week, right here in Frisco, Texas, we had an American nonprofit organization fundraising to support the demolition of churches in India at a time when Indian Christians are falling under the knife day by day by day.
Extreme Hindu nationalists in India and in the US insist that there were forced conversions by Christian missionaries in India decades ago. However, many converted to Christianity to escape the debilitating cruelty of the caste system. Many poor also converted to escape the crippling poverty with an opportunity to educate themselves. Attempts by Hindu nationalists to emphasize their own religion through what seems like harmless celebrations of Indian festivals like Diwali, Raksha Bandhan involving the local police and politicians need to be carefully monitored.
As a Sikh American, we came here because of the genocide that was inflicted upon our people and the rapes and the mass killings in the streets all over India, simply because of who we are. And now to see that this thought process has followed us here into Frisco is unfathomable.
I want the Indian Christian community in Frisco and in all parts of the world to know that we, Indian Muslims, stand with you in this moment of sorrow and torment.
And as a Muslim, our teachings, our Holy Book Quran and our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, teach us to stand up for justice regardless of our faith. So I'm here to show my support, solidarity with my Christian brothers and sisters.
I urge the Frisco City Council to have the courage to proclaim that GHHF's hateful agenda has no place in Frisco, in Texas, in America, or in the world.
I ask the City Council to stand with Indian minorities and Christians that live in Frisco, for we're hurt and tormented by the fact that organized planning is being done in the name of charity to demolish 75 churches. As leaders of the community, council members, you all have the responsibility to stand against wrong and take action. We all heard the Pledge of Allegiance under God. We're talking about demolishing houses of God.
I would like to ask the City Council of Frisco to please condemn this obscene supremacist movement and its raising and funneling of funds to India for religious persecution. Thank you so much for your time.